Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing Samantha March's Will I Buy It video. So as you guys know, I always do like an anti-haul every couple of months, and then I'll do a wish list. So I have a video for all the things I want to buy or would love to buy, and then a video for all the things that I do not want or do not want to buy. So that's how I've kind of done things so far. And then I discovered Samantha March's series called Will I Buy It, where she basically does those two videos in one. So I thought, why do two when I can do one? Easier, right? So big shout outs to Samantha March for her amazing idea of consolidating those two videos and putting it into one. I will link her channel down below. So without further ado, the Too Faced foundation, the Do You foundation, was the first thing on my list. Now hopefully you guys will already know I have already bought this. I have already received this. I ordered it like the second it came out. I was desperate for it and I really loved it. It is the dewiest foundation I've ever seen in my life. If you want to know more, I will link the video down below. But obviously, I've already bought it before I've even made this video. The Charlotte Tilbury concealer. I don't currently plan to buy this. The answer is no. There's not a huge reason, and I may possibly change my mind if I start to see really, really good reviews, but I'm just obsessed with my Too Faced concealer. I can't see how this one can be better. And I've only tried one Charlotte Tilbury concealer before, the Retoucher, and it was a sample, to be fair to it. And you know, samples are tricky, they are different. You don't, get as much product to play with and all that kind of stuff. You have to make your mind up then and there. And obviously it's a different concealer, but I guess just because Charlotte's not known for having like an incredible high selling concealer, it hasn't massively immediately grabbed me and forced me to move away from my Too Faced. And next up, the Charlotte Tilbury Loose Setting Powder. Now her pressed powder has been on my list like forever. I just haven't quite got round to getting that one yet, but it's certainly on my to buy list, and everybody raves about it. It's supposed to be stunning on the skin. So of course her loose powder is interesting to me, but at the moment it's a no. And the reason is I am desperate to try the Laura Mercier, the new illuminating powder first, because I've seen incredible things about that, and that is a luminous powder, which is much more my bag, a glowing powder, a luminizing powder, whereas the Charlotte Tilbury Loose Setting Powder is a mattifying powder. So for that reason, it's just not really my bag. So on that note, the Laura Mercier powder, absolutely on my list. It doesn't seem to be here in the UK yet, and they aren't answering my questions. I've messaged them several times asking when it's coming, and they just continue to ignore me. I've probably been blocked. The Beautyblender foundation is just a straight no for me. Firstly, the whole thing about the shade range. It's not that I'm necessarily like boycotting them or anything, but it just, when things like that happen, that really does sort of put a sour taste around that product. Like it just makes me feel a bit, it loses any excitement I may have had for it, which to be honest wasn't that much anyway. I think it's supposed to be quite matte, not necessarily that great of a coverage, and I haven't really seen incredible reviews. So I guess, yeah, I'm not excited enough to overcome that kind of icky feeling that I have about the shade range. The Becca Glow Stick Highlighter is a no for me. I need to start learning my lesson that sticks, things in sticks, foundations in sticks, blushes in sticks, highlighters in sticks. I just don't really like sticks. The only thing I like a stick for is contouring and like throwing to a dog, but facially I like give up on them. I think they're fine, some of them work beautifully, but I just don't reach for them. I find them a bit fiddlier, a bit more tricky, a bit more of a pain to work with. So I am going to start learning from myself and cracking down and just saying no to sticks. Now the Huda concealer. This is a tricky one for me because I am like feeling quite loyal to my Too Faced concealer at the moment, but I have yet to get a bad product from Huda. I have been obsessed with every product she's ever made. I love her foundation, I love her powder. They are like two of my favorites in those categories. I'm obsessed. Her liquid lips are my favorite liquid lipsticks of all time. I love her glosses. I love her eyeshadow palette. I've only got one eyeshadow palette from her, but I loved it. Her highlighter palette, I liked it. Wouldn't say I was obsessed. It's not my favorite highlight formula, but I liked it. What else have I got from Huda? Is that it? I think that's it. But essentially, I can't see that woman doesn't seem to be able to do anything wrong. So if she's bringing a product out, you know it's going to have a crazy good shade range, which I massively appreciate. And two, you know it's going to be full coverage, and you know she's going to have worked her bum off to have made it phenomenal. She's so ambitious, she's so hardworking, she's so passionate. She is not going to put out a product that's going to let down her reputation or let the side down of that brand. So I really trust that anything she brings out is going to be phenomenal, and I don't expect anything less of that concealer. So curiosity is probably going to get the better of me. Even though I don't need one, I'm almost certainly going to get one. The MAC Christmas collection. I think like the whole thing has been sort of shown now on like FYI Beauty. So a while ago they showed the palettes, which were like a bronzer, blush and highlight trio in a gorgeous little cute package, looked like presents. I go nuts for the MAC Christmas collection every year without fail. And last year, FYI Beauty, the beautiful Jess, who runs the FYI Beauty Instagram account, I was stalking her so that I knew the second that went up, and so I got everything I wanted thanks to that incredible woman. The previous year I missed out because I didn't know about Jess. I don't even know if Jess existed then, but I did not know about her, and so I missed out on the face palettes they did in the Nutcracker collection. So I am all over that MAC collection. I haven't seen anything else out of the Christmas collection that I want yet, but the little face palettes, definitely. Jeffree Star's Liquid Frost is a very easy pass for me, not for any other reason than I feel similarly about liquid highlights that I do about sticks. I keep buying them, but I just don't get on with them really. I find them fiddly. They don't really like to go on top of powders. Some products don't work well with them. They're a bit messier. So for that reason, I prefer a powder highlight, so I'm just trying not to buy any more liquid highlights. That's all it is. The Benefit Contour Brow Pen, that's the one that looks like those pens we all had in school with like the multiple pen selection, one of those. That is a definite pass for me. I just picked up all the new Morphe brow products. I've been loving them. I love my Kat Von D pencil and I love my ABH brow pomade. I don't need any more brow stuff. And that one, when I see it, I see more problems than solutions when I see people using that. To me, I want to know what happens. Is it going to start like the pens used to, not clicking back up? What's going to happen there? There's too much like stuff going on with the mechanism that could go wrong at any minute. I feel like something's going to get stuck and not go back up. Something's not going to stop twisting out. How much product is there in there in each of those different pencils? I have a lot of questions, but ultimately the pencil itself seems to be a little too fat for my liking. So for doing like brow strokes, things like that, it doesn't float my boat, that one. I feel like I want to stick to what I've already got. Jaclyn Hill's brushes. I'm not one for like buying stuff for the sake of buying it because it's limited edition or because Jaclyn made it or because, you know, I want it like FOMO or something. I only really buy stuff if I really, really want it or need it or I haven't got something like it. And for me, I have lots of brushes. They look beautiful. They look brilliant quality. I'm sure that they will work very, very well, but I don't really need any more makeup brushes right now. So I certainly won't be picking up like the kit with loads of brushes in, but I may pick up the blush brush and I may pick up the bronzer brush because the bronzer brush looks like a dupe for the MAC 135, which I know Jaclyn loved, so I'm sure she may have been sort of inspired by that one when she was looking at the design of the Morphe one. So I feel like that bronzer brush might be a very affordable dupe for the MAC 135. And last but not least, the most excited I've been for a new product for a little while, well, for the last 5 minutes, and that is the Hourglass Christmas palette. So this is Hourglass's limited edition palette, whole face palette that they do every year. It's got like under eye setting powder, facial setting powder, it's got blushes, highlight and a bronzer in there, which I just love that. So travel friendly and handy and helpful. I've never bought one before because the blushes have never been like my thing and there's always 2 or 3 blushes. So if you're not gonna like the blushes, it's not value for money, if that makes sense. Whereas this time the blushes are like, yes, they are a bit of me. So for that reason, this is the palette that screamed at me. They are also trying to go vegan, I think it was by 2020 or maybe 2021. And this was like their promise to do that. So this palette, I believe, is fully vegan. And the proceeds, or certainly a large portion of the proceeds, is going to animal charity. Which, if you're gonna feel bad about how much you're spending on something, because it is very expensive, at least spend it on something that is doing some good. Then you don't have to feel guilty, all right? You're doing good at the same time as you are spending. So that is the way to make a purchase. And that is everything on my consideration list at the moment. There you have it. Everything I'm either gonna buy or not buy, all in one place. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe before you go so I can see you again. Otherwise, take care for now. Bye 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 bye.